now for the extreme points. This is not gonna be easy. Puerto Rico, the 10 tallest points of the United States lie in Alaska. Vegas!
Yes, the destination that I enjoyed very much was the Carhenge.
It's the second day of Christmas, and this is what it looks like outside. I got a globe for Christmas. I'm Camilla, I make travel and geography related videos, and today we are zooming in on the United States of America. USA, United States, the States, US of A, US, America, America. This country goes by many names. I'm having a special guest over for this episode and he really loves the United States. This is the first country I'm zooming in on that I have actually visited. I lived in Omaha for a half year and spent last Easter break road tripping through the country, having visited 22 states. And I will hopefully return in 2020. Let's zoom in. The earliest known use of the name America dates back to 1507. A German cartographer, Waltzey Müller, called the lands in the Western Hemisphere America. He honored Amerigo Vespucci, who was an Italian explorer. Amerigo said those landmasses weren't the limits of Asia as Columbus thought, but separate landmasses. So America comes from an Italian name, from someone who understood the geography. The name United States wasn't published until over 200 years later, in the 1770s. Out of 23 countries in North America, the US is the second biggest. The country is divided in 50 states. Don't forget Alaska and Hawaii. And Massachusetts, apparently, the least guessed state in this quiz on Jetpunk. The USA has 5 permanently inhabited territories: American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands. The USA is the 4th largest country and number 3 in population, 1 billion people short from the second place, India. The capital city is Washington, D.C., but all more populous cities are, in order, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, and San Jose. And now for the extreme points. This is not gonna be easy, because the easternmost point is here, at 179.7 degrees east, on Semisopognoi Island, apparently part of the Rat Islands in the state of Alaska. This brings us to the westernmost point, just across the 180-degree meridian line, to Amitignac Island at minus 109 degrees, also in the state of Alaska. The northernmost point, you have already guessed it, is also in Alaska, 71 degrees north, and well, this is what it looks like. That leaves us with the southernmost point. It is not in Florida, it is in Hawaii, on the island Hawaii. How on earth can I measure the regularity of the shape of this country? I'll try. Oof, this is hard. I just have to go for it. Google Earth wouldn't let me measure this area. Just look at this mess. It wouldn't have made sense anyway to include all of Europe and big parts of Asia. To measure how regular the shape of the country is, I just have to make this point the easternmost point. That way the rectangle will include all of the country. Here we go. We have the sides of the rectangle, which of this size has become a shape I don't know the name of. We have the area of the US, and we find that the US fills 24.7% of the rectangle. Not bad. Do you like this video so far? As of right now, I have 190 subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting me. How cool would it be to celebrate the new decade with 200 subscribers? So click that subscriber button if you like my videos. Now we'll zoom in on the capital, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. borders the states of Maryland and Virginia. And here is the Potomac River. Let's zoom in. I haven't been to DC yet, but I know there is a lot of things to see there. These are some huge green areas. Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, the White House is there, United States Capitol. I know there are many museums. I see here Holocaust Museum, International Spy Museum, Museum of the Bible. Where should we do some street view? I'm just gonna go in between here, this large park. Now, if you've ever been to Washington, D.C., maybe you recognize this part. It is really touristic. That's a huge green lawn. What is that? Looks like a church. Oh wow. That is spectacular. That's the monument, right? Is that a plane? I'm gonna try another place in the capital. I'm gonna go into the streets of the city. Let's just go here. D Street Southwest. Oh, you can rent some cars here. Food courts. Buildings are tall, but not that tall. Let's try one last place. I'm gonna go into the suburbs. Just try there. A lot of green areas here too. Yes, this is America as I know it. The front yards, the sidewalk. I like the colors of these houses, they're really neat. This makes me miss summer. Oh, it's really cute. They're much smaller and more narrow than the houses I've seen before. Lakes and rivers. The longest river with a length of 3,768 kilometers or 2,341 miles is the Missouri River. It starts in Montana, then moves into the Dakotas, forms the border between Nebraska and Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and then it meets the Mississippi River, which is the country's second longest river, about 100 miles shorter. It flows through Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and lastly Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico. On third place comes the Yukon River. It is not entirely within the states. And on fourth place is the Rio Grande, forming the border with Mexico for big parts. I have crossed 3 of those rivers. In Omaha, you can walk the pedestrian bridge across the Missouri River and into Iowa. Mississippi River, also a border between Illinois and Iowa. Now you have probably heard of the Great Lakes. Definitely if you're American. These 5 lakes are the largest lakes in the United States. The next largest lake is the Great Salt Lake. Now I just want to point out the surroundings here. I visited here in December 2017. It was freezing cold. We had just visited Salt Lake City. It was snowing. I remember everything looking really white, not only because of the snow and the white skies, but because of the salt. We parked the car here at Great Salt Lake State Park. We didn't see much of the lake. It was foggy, it was snowing, so I had to experience the lake in another way than sight. So I sat down and I had a little taste of the lake, just to see if it really was salty. It was salty. Now to the tallest point. Now I know the tallest point lies in Alaska, but what I didn't know is the 10 tallest points of the United States lie in Alaska. Denali or Mount McKinley is the tallest one, with an elevation of 6,190 meters or 20,310 feet, and is also the tallest point in all of North America. Let's do random street view. I feel like I cannot do a random street view because I always want to go for some specific areas, so I cannot be random. So I'm just gonna pick it and then drop it at one place, and I will close my eyes and I will guess where I ended up. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, we have snow and a greenhouse. I have no clue. It looks like we are far up north, but we don't have to be. Maybe it's just winter. Alright, we have a lake here. We have some hills. There aren't really that tall mountains, I think. Could be low, could be high in elevation, but I don't see mountain peaks. This is really hard. It has to be somewhere north in the country. I'm just gonna go with Montana. Somewhere in Montana where there is a lake and boats that are frozen. Let's see where I ended up. Lutzel Key. Is that even English? It looks like we're in northern Canada. Maybe we did end up there. Stark Lake. Fairburn Lake. I don't know yet where we are. McDonald Lake. I'm still thinking Canada now. Wood Buffalo National Park of Canada. Yep. This is Canada. Oh no. I'm gonna try one more time, and this time we're gonna land in the United States. Okay, I hope we're in the United States now. It looks really green. It is really green, and there are bushes and trees, so we aren't too far west. I mean, we could be, but I think we are more like in the central part, maybe southern parts. Kensington. Place. Information. No, it doesn't quite help me. Is that corn? Maybe that is corn. Water tower? I think we're in the Midwest. I would have to move around to find out more, but I'm not gonna do it now. I'm just gonna go with Illinois. West Michigan Regional Airport. Are we in Michigan? Holland? Nelly's Dutch Village. Am I home? Are we in the Netherlands? Zealand? Noorderloos? What is this? Dutch names here. Okay, there's a lake coming up here. If we are in Michigan, then this may be Lake Michigan. Grand Rapids. Oh yes, we are in Michigan. Yeah. Alright. Not too bad. Let's do one more randoms review. I'm gonna go with another place this time. And here. Oh wow, we're here. These are some people swimming, bathing. There is a waterfall. Hawaii is so beautiful. I really want to go there someday. It's very green. Look at those people. All looking at the waterfall. Opposite side time. I take my ruler, put it in Washington DC and move 20,000 kilometers and find that this is the point the furthest away. We have landed in between Australia and Antarctica. Kinda close are the French Southern and Antarctic lands and Heard Island and McDonald Islands. But the closest country is clearly Australia. Time for some travel suggestions. Okay, so what I love about the United States, beside the food and the friendly people, is it's so easy to explore this country by car. And there are so many different kinds of landscapes. So you can just get in the car and start exploring. Here are some of my favorite destinations. The Nebraska Sandhills. They are to be found around here, the western part of Nebraska. We drove from Broken Bow to Alliance. This is Nebraska. The Sandhills are a region of sand dunes that are stabilized by grass, so they are basically hills of sand covered by grass. So they are grasslands or prairie. Oh. I'm just so fascinated by this. You could also drive from North Platte to Valentine. And from Valentine, it isn't too far to another great destination in the United States, the Badlands National Park. The park protects eroded rock formations and animals such as prairie dogs and bison. Wow! This is it! Whoa! Going back to Nebraska, and for this travel suggestion I need some help from this special guest, Vegard!
Yes, the destination that I enjoyed very much was the Carhenge. It lies in Alliance, Nebraska.
I present you Carhenge.
Carhenge is a replica of the Stonehenge. The main difference is that instead of those huge stones, it's made out of cars. There was this guy that lived in England for a while, and when he came back he wanted to build a replica of the Stonehenge, but he didn't have 10,000 years to build it on, so he found a lot of cars that he could build it with instead, and he built Carhenge. It's really cool because it's made out of a lot of old cars. I liked it a lot. Another destination that I really enjoyed in the United States was Nashville. Nashville is capital of country music, and Nashville takes country music to a whole nother level. You can go and listen to music everywhere, anytime, and it's so good. You definitely have to go down to Broadway. That's like the main street in Nashville, where all the restaurants have live music, and it's just so good. The quality on the artists performing there is just amazing. I would recommend you to bring a couple of earbuds because the music around there It's so loud. I would recommend to go to eat at Puckett's and get the hot chicken. It's a nice little restaurant with live music. Obviously, it's Nashville.
Thank you, Vegard. So these are all places we have visited. There are links down below from our travels in the United States. The Badlands, the Sandhills. Now, I'm not done exploring the United States. And the destinations high on my list are Death Valley and Sequoia National Park. Death Valley is a desert in California, and what is special about this place is that it's super low-lying. It has the point of the lowest elevation in all of North America, as well as it has a high record temperature. In 1913, the United States Weather Bureau recorded a temperature of 56.7 degrees Celsius, 134 Fahrenheit, and it stands as the highest air temperature ever recorded in the world. Wow! Now, Sequoia National Park is interesting to me because it has the giant sequoia trees and the General Sherman tree, the largest tree on Earth. The national park also contains the highest point in the country except for the tops in Alaska. See, this is why the US is cool. The extreme landscapes. The United States of America is big, with numerous types of landscapes, and has surprising extreme points. These were some geographical facts on the United States. Next up is United Kingdom, and we're zooming out. Thank you for watching, guys.